Hi, my name is Neeraj Bislani. Today we understand very important cloud stride threat model. So what is this stride model all about? So this is stride model created by Microsoft some time ago, where the threat model where the threats has been known threats has been identified. So this threat model has been widely adopted in the cloud environment in the application security space. So this is particularly useful as part of SDLC process where the applications is developed keeping in mind that stride threat model. Then the applications will be developed in the cloud in a more robust way. So this is all the about the known threats identifications in the application. So this should be in accordance with the SDLC process to identify vulnerabilities throughout the build process of the applications. So this will ensure that the application is being developed in the cloud environment is hardened, completely hardened, with very minimal exploits for the motivation of the attackers, right? So so Stride is a system for classifying known threats according to the kinds of exploits that are used or the motivation for the attacker, right? So these are the three concepts you see on the screen, like six concepts like spoofing, tampering, repudiations, information disclosure, denial of service, elevation of privilege. So these six uh, concepts that makes the Stride model uh, and that is applicable to the application development and application security involving security in the applications, right? So let's have a closer look on the spoofing, right? Where attacker assumes identity of a subject with whether it's IP spoofing, user spoofing, where users tries to spoof your IP address, user identity. So this is one kind of threat, right? In the applications, right? User want to access your application by spoofing your IP address. Some applications can be accessible from external with a and some application can be accessible with a defined IP address. So somebody can spoof your IP address, then it's an attack, right? It's a completely spoofing attack on your applications, right? And some applications in the cloud works on the identity of the user. Somebody can spoof your identity that you are the intended user. Then you can access the application and do the insert the malicious code. So this is a all about spoofing attack. So we application developer, cloud developer should ensure that there is no exploit in case of spoofing, right? To avoid a spoofing attack. Next is tampering, where data or messages altered by an attacker. So applications where data is in transit, right? So data or messages can be altered by an attacker when the data is in transit. And as we are aware that most of the risk associated uh, when the data is in transit, right? So with the data output, data input, or data is stored, so there should not be any tampering of a data by an attacker. So this is one second type of threat in a Stride model. Third is repudiation, right? Where you are unable to deny once action has been compromised. So just think about ransomware. Your system is compromised, right? And for some ransomware, and an attacker is um, demanding some money out of it, right? But you are not able to deny that actions. So that's a repudiation, so illegitimate denial of an event, right? This is most common threat in nowadays, right? Next is information disclosure, right? So information obtained without authorizations, data leakage. So without authorization, uh, information is obtained. Like you are not an authorized user, but you obtain the data. So that information is disclosed, right? So that is information disclosure threat. So this should not be happen in the application, because data is stored in most of the applications, right? So if unauthorized user wants to access that data, then then it's an attack, right? So no authorized users can access the data, valid data. The only authorized user can access the data of the applications, right? So the developer must ensure that there should not be exploit that involves information disclosure, right? So next is denial of service. Denial of service, as you are aware of, that the type of attack that could cause the application to be unavailable, right? So all intended users want to access the application, but the application is not available because there is a denial of service attack on that application. So all the illegitimate connections going to the application, but there is no output. So denial of service attack is the most common attack on the applications where service is unavailable, and cloud is mean for availability, service availability. So this should be keep on the top priority, right? So next is elevation of privilege. I think attackers gain access, privilege level access above what is permitted. So suppose if a attacker gain access on the Linux kernel, root access, admin access, then they can do anything, right? So there should be enough restrictions on the root level access or admin level access, kernel level access, so that uh, so the attacker cannot get the elevation privilege access for on the applications, right? So this is also very important. So this is all about all 6 concepts in the cloud stride model that cloud developers should adopt in the HDLC process. And there are other, apart from that, they should be keeping in mind other attacks like SQL injection, OS injection, broken authentication, cross-site scripting, that is called XSS, insecure direct object access, security misconfigurations, and CSRF, etc. So these are all other applications that needs to be entertained, entertained by the developer to avoid this type of other threats as well in the applications, right? So this is all about threat model, stride threat model understanding. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you like this. Thank you. Bye.